That Robert's a minor.
Uh, I know nothing about mining coal, y'all guys. You know, I'm not a that type of miner.
Okay, let's set it back. I might bash you on. I didn't mean to kick you like that, but
Man, that's wild.
Hi, yeah. I think I find it odd just to like shit on Kenzie like that. Like it's kind of weird.
Me?
Yeah, it's
No,
a
I'm
bit
not. I'm
weird.
not a hater at all. Like I said, God bless her. I'm not being biased. I'm just being honest.
I think it's just a bit odd, quite misogynistic, honestly. But
Wait, hold on. Didn't you say on your live stream quite a few times that I was annoying or something like that?
yeah, you are.
Yeah. So if you believe that and that is objective to you, and you weren't trying to slander me, it is what it is. My feelings are not hurt. She's a grown woman. She can take it.
Dude,
It's
I don't even
just how I
care. I
feel.
don't even care.
So
Can
yeah,
I give you my definition?
for gender.
yeah.
Yeah, right. So a woman is someone who identifies with and or embodies the arbitrary social characteristics, often but not always attributed to adult human females.
Wait, so you think a woman is someone? Wait. That's kind of weird. So it's anyone who identifies or fits the characteristics of that. To
Anyone who
simplify.
identifies with those characteristics or embodies those characteristics, yes.
So what about identifying with the characteristics makes a difference? Because like say someone has curves, long hair, look fits every characteristic you can imagine of a woman, even stereotypical ones, right? If that is what a woman is, then someone who fits every single characteristic of a man just
Wait, but then
identifies as a
you're zeroing in
woman.
on the embodies part. I just said it identifies or embodies. It could be either one.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm trying to go in on, right? So if a man completely has every single characteristic or quality which we associate with being a man, uh, would you not say that it wouldn't be a woman if that person just was to say I identify as a woman?
Right, yeah, is that not what I just said? Do you need me to like hold your hand through it again?
What?
Yeah, like you can identify with it or embody it. It can be either one.
Yeah, I understand what you mean by that, but it's quite ridiculous to believe that someone can
So,
identify as something,
I don't think so. I
which
think
is
it's even
quite
more
objective,
ridiculous
right?
to
Ab,
prescribe
Because
like not
Ab,
biological, social
Ab.
characteristics to things solely based on like biological things when there's no scientific backing that like these social characteristics actually have any connection to this biology whatsoever.
okay,
So,
so
Ab, well, I wanted to
I
ask.
can break it down, but you guys can go if you want.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask her a question. So, can a 12-year-old identify as a woman?
Wait, but wait. A girl and a woman, those aren't two different genders. Those are types, those are like levels of development.
Yeah, but the 12-year-old identifies as a woman.
Mm,
So that
cracking
Right,
armor.
yeah, she
a
identifies as
12-year-old
like
can
the
fit.
embodiment of like femininity, I guess, which at her age would be
Wait,
girl.
wait, wait,
So
wait, wait.
yes.
Hold on,
But
Abby. Did you say
but you
it has
said
to embody femininity? You just switched up because you said it's more of a developmental thing. Now you're saying it's more of a characteristic thing.
Wait, no, like
So
she
which one
wants to
is it?
embody, I'm saying she wants to embody as this femininity, but at her age, it would be called girl. Like you can identify as a gender, you can identify as like a stage in development. Those are not the same thing.
No. According to the logic based upon your whole framework is saying that you
Wait, no,
absolutely
wait,
don't
Robert,
need the
wait.
qualities.
Hang on, wait.
But I
I'm
don't
only saying
wait.
you can identify
Hold
with
on,
something if it's
Abby,
a social construct. Levels in
Abby.
development aren't a social construct, therefore you can't
No,
identify with them.
Abby. Think about this real quick.
I am
This
thinking
added to
about
your
it.
social
You're just not
definition.
listening
construct
to
that
me.
you can identify with, when you just spoke out the definition of it, it had no age requirements. It says
Exactly. That's what I'm about to
I just
identifies
said
say.
adult human
or
female. I
no,
said anyone
no.
who has like the attributes of adult human female. What do you mean?
So if someone has the attributes of an adult human female, that's what
Robert,
makes them
listen.
a woman. And that's
No,
it, or
Robert.
is it identifying?
Robert,
It can't
listen.
be
Here, I'm
both.
going to restate my definition again so you can hear it. Anyone who identifies with and or embodies the arbitrary social characteristics often but not always attributed to adult human females.
Okay. Which one is it? Identifying or holding the
It can be either
characteristics?
or. I just said it
So
could
if
be
it's
either or.
either or, you would have to concede that someone who doesn't carry the characteristics of age can still identify.
Actually,
Or
Right.
if
no,
you would
because
wish to not
wait,
concede, you
Robert,
can die
stop,
on that
stop,
hill.
stop. Listen, levels of development and age are not a social construct. Do you hear me? Like, it actually has to do with time, which is something like that we can measure. Gender isn't. Gender is a
Mm.
completely socially constructed thing. Therefore, you can identify with something that is arbitrary and socially constructed, but not something that isn't.
So
It's the same reason
there
that like the whole animal argument doesn't work. Like, oh, I want to identify as a penguin. It doesn't work because penguins aren't a social construct.
So I want to break it down. There are bounds to this social construct. When you look up the definition of gender, it is based upon male and female. And also with that, you
Actually,
cannot
no.
identify. Oh, wait, let me break it down. And also with that, you cannot identify as characteristics. Society has to view these certain characteristics and attribute them to either male or female, which has nothing to do with your definition, which is new age and out of date. See, an adult female human being, that's a woman, but guess what? That is a certain type of woman. A girl is a certain type of female, and a woman is a certain type of female. But guess what? That has to do with the sex, which gender is the ability to people to attribute certain characteristics to a girl and a woman and a boy and a man. You see, because those have to do with sex, but gender is how people view certain characteristics and attribute them to these sexes. So your definition is ridiculous. I don't know where you
Not
got that from.
necessarily, because gender is so arbitrary and because we quite literally
No,
created it, you just simply identifying with a characteristic is enough to meet the standard. You
no,
literally cannot argue otherwise because we literally invented it.
no. Okay, so inventing has nothing to do with how flexible something is, right? The only
Actually,
reason a
it
lot
does.
of
Social
people have been,
constructs,
wait, hold
nearly
on,
all
real
of them are
quick. The
arbitrary.
only reason a lot of people have been able to pick up this ideology is because a lot of people don't have the knowledge of the true definition of gender, which
Wait,
is that it's
definitions are
based off of
subjective. What do you mean?
definitions of or subjective. It really just depends on what you mean, because you can say that for the
Wait,
foundation of
no, no, no,
anything.
no. You
If we
can't
want
just
to
say that
use
you're right
words,
because, like, most definitions or dictionaries say that, like, this is the definition of this word because we invented definitions as well. We define them. Like, they're not objective.
not necessarily in that sense, because if you want to break the framework for communication and verbal understanding, just for the sake of your argument, you would have to say that for everything. Therefore, there would be no foundation for any conversation. I can even say what conversation means because you can change what you think it means, and that's
Yeah,
what it is,
right. Robert, I agree with
right?
you. Hang on. Yes, I agree with you. Language isn't as arbitrary as gender. However, when we're given two different definitions where one is exclusionary and causes lots of like what's the word? Just excludes a lot of people and causes more harm than good, but we also have a different
Really?
definition that is more inclusionary and causes way more good than harm. I
No.
think that we should probably use the definition that does more good than harm. Wouldn't you agree?
No, I think it's
Can you
quite
prove that?
radical and ridiculous to claim that, because if someone was to rob me and I go by this framework and it was like, oh, of course, a woman, right? But, I don't know that person. I don't know what they identify as. It could have been a man. I mean, I couldn't tell you anything because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I want to be inclusive. So, hey, the police is asking, hey, was it a male or a female? I mean, I don't want to be so, I don't like that because that's not inclusive. I don't know what that
Just
person
say,
identifies
wait. You can
as.
define, like, you can, what's the word? Identify someone based on, like, what they're, like, the clothes that they're wearing or, like, the color of their hair or their eye color. It literally does not just have to be gender.
Yeah,
Like, you could
yeah,
say
what you're
the
saying.
guy over there or, like, the person over there with a red shirt and a blue cap and he has green eyes. Nowhere in there do you have to use gender to identify someone.
Okay, so I want to break this down.
But
Of
it
course,
helps a lot there.
I'm not saying that it is not possible. I'm saying that it does make things harder, because why do we go
Wait, it
to this
doesn't.
very simple and easy, and gender and clothing play a part in being able to easily identify someone? So taking away
Wait, but
a
it's not
very
essential. Wait. You can only make this
foundational
argument if it's essential.
option to this framework is ridiculous. I think it makes everything more
Wait,
complicated.
Robert, you can only make this argument if it's essential, like if using the gender to describe someone is essential, but it's not, because you have other identifying things such
It
as like their
is.
clothes or their
It is.
hair or eye color or even
Okay, so
size.
race, the way the person was dressed, and gender are the top three, right? Those are the more most important things in identifying a person, especially in case of an incident happening with law enforcement. They're gonna ask you the color, I mean the race, what they were wearing, and what gender they were, right? So in that sense, if you're saying we can now not use that because not necessarily saying that we can't use it at all, but now making it unuseful because anybody can identify as anything. That takes something that is very objective and easy and more beneficial to society and scrambles it
Well,
up to
wait,
fit the
no.
needs of a
When
few
somebody
frail
asks that,
people.
you could say, like, if you think they're a man, maybe they're not. You could say a person who looks masculine presenting. Maybe they're not actually a man,
That's
but they
way
simply
more
just look masculine
words.
presenting.
That sounds inconvenient. Oh yeah, that person is
How is that
masculine
inconvenient?
presenting.
If it's including people and you have to add one extra word to your sentence, do you really think that's that big of an inconvenience?
Yeah,
Are you
I
kidding
think it's
me?
quite ridiculous to make everyone in America or everyone around the world to start using way more words than they need to just to fit a lot of
One
people's
word?
feelings.
One
No, way
singular
more
word.
words. That's not
Wait,
masculine.
Robert.
I don't think masculine presenting is one word.
It's
Even
it's
with
two
that,
words, right? Man
yeah,
versus masculine
and I believe
presenting.
that
That
there's
only adds one word
more
to
than
your
that.
vocabulary.
But like I was
What?
saying, it's more than that. But like I was saying, I feel like we went very far away from the main thing. But the gist of what I'm saying is, it doesn't make society better. It complicates,
It
and
quite literally does. I
it's
mean, there's
going
even
away
studies that
from
shows like if
objective
we
truth.
allow people to validate
Are
their
you kidding
existences
me?
and what they identify with, suicide rates go down. So
You,
yes, this is
you're
actually
telling
very beneficial for society.
Yeah, these
you're telling
people
me that
need.
all of this is not complicated? There's over what, like 20 new pronouns now? Let me look it up. There's like j and jur.
What?
I kid
During
you
Joe?
not. They're making up so many
Yeah,
pronouns now.
it makes life
Bro,
easier for
who
those
left
people
their
while
earrings at my
complicating
house? Whoever left these
life
at my
for
house, come
way
pick
more
them up.
people.
So you're telling me you don't want to be inclusive because you're too inconvenienced to
No,
expand your
no,
own
no. I
vocabulary?
also stand for truth. Like I said, I was just refuting your argument that it would make everything easy. Of course, there's other reasons as to why I disagree with this whole new age and ideology of what a female, I mean, what a woman and a man is.
Yeah, someone
But you
else.
I
haven't
think
actually
they're
negated anything
so
I said. You just gave
arbitrary and
examples in which we could
ridiculous
use other things.
Whoever
because
left these earrings at my house, come pick them up, man. I don't know who these are, low key.
like I was saying, it's just like if you're saying
Probably the
anyone
17-year-old
can
girl you groomed, but
identify as a
pop off.
woman, it's quite
A
ridiculous
what?
because
Yeah,
What
the
are you talking about?
17-year-old girl that you groomed. Yeah, it's probably hers.
Oh, you think
what
so?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
what?
Yeah,
There's
there's
no
like this.
way.
There's this whole rumor going on. They're trying to cancel me, and
Oh,
that's funny. Yes, she brought that up.
Anyways, yeah, Robert, everything that you brought up was just examples in which we
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and let you go, Abby.